Historical biographical approach.
A pleasant day to all, especially to our instructors. Before anything else, I would like to introduce myself. My name is May Rosales, 21 years old, a third year BS Ed college student from Trinidad Municipal College. In this video, I am going to criticize a certain literary piece in historical and biographical approach. So today, I am going to criticize a literary piece written by Edgar Allan Poe entitled The Black Cat. Without any further ado, let's start.
The Black Cat by Edgar Allan Poe.
Biography of the author. Edgar Allan Poe was born on January 19, 1809 in Boston, Massachusetts, in US. He was an American short story writer, poet, critic, and editor. Edgar Allan Poe's tales of mystery and horror initiated the modern detective story, and the atmosphere in his tales of horror is unrevealed in American fiction. With his short stories and poems, Edgar Allan Poe captured the imagination and interest of readers around the world. His creative talent led to the beginning of different literary genres, earning him the nickname Father of the Detective Story, among other distinctions. His life, however, has become a bit of mystery itself, and the lines between fact and fiction has been blurred substantially since his death. The Black Cat is a short piece of fiction in which the narrator lays out the events that leads to the death of his wife. His confession appears to be an attempt to convince the reader that a series of black cats acted upon him in a supernatural manner, possessing him to act violent. Overview of the story. The Black Cat is a short story by Edgar Allan Poe, first published in Saturday Evening Post in August 1843 and included in the collection Tales by Edgar Allan Poe in 1845. The story's narrator is an animal lover who, as he descends into alcoholism and reverse violence, begins mistreating his wife and his black cat Pluto. When Pluto attacks him in self-defense one night, he seizes the cat in a fury, cut out one of its eyes, and hangs it. That night, fire destroys his house, leaving him in dire poverty. He later adopts a one-eyed black cat that he finds at a low-life tavern. But after he nearly trips on the cat, he attempts to kill it too. When his wife intervenes, he kills her wife instead and calmly conceals her in a wall. In the end, Black Cat reveals the narrator's crime to the police. Analysis of the story. Characterization. A brutal man and a murderer. He made home a living hell for his wife, pet, and himself. Also, he is an alcoholic. In addition to the details of these heinous crimes, he reveals his psychological transformation from a nice guy to a villain. Theme. Alcoholism leads to violence and tragedy. Setting. At the narrator's home. The main point of the story. Justice and truth. The narrator tries to hide the truth by wailing up his wife's body, but the voice of the black cat helps bring him to justice. Superstition. The black cat is an omen of bad luck, a theme that runs throughout literature. Murder and death. Death is the central focus of the entire story. Conclusion. By the analysis, we conclude that the man's character, or the narrator, in the story has same character with Edgar Allan Poe. Both of them married early, had pets, and are alcoholic. Poe reflects some parts of his life in the story The Black Cat. So, the life of the author affects the work he wrote.
Message of the story. The Black Cat illustrates best the capacity of the human mind to observe its own deterioration and the ability of the mind to comment upon its own destruction without being able to objectively halt that deterioration. Lesson of the story. Edgar Allan Poe displays a chilling example of his balance in The Black Cat.
The human conflict of good and evil also means that law and order need to be applied in order to ensure justice for all. If there was no law or order, this would over time result in a hunger for power and control. The Black Cat effectively shows the obscurity in every human being. This story shows how every individual has the potential for ethical significance and inscrutable immorality. The equilibrium of these forces can vary among every person, but the presence is true.
Prepared by Mayro Sales. Submitted to Almira Boncalis. Thank you for watching.